Hey y'all, when I first saw this story about this Utica bus driver who got into a crash with about 50 kids on the bus, initially I was like, how dare she can get into a bus and start driving while she's intoxicated. But then after I, did watch the arraignment and listen to some of the details, um, I couldn't feel anything but, compassion for her because sometimes we look at things on the outside, but we're not on the inside. And apparently, she's obviously struggling with something internally. And this must be the reason why she's, coping with alcohol. But go ahead and take a look at this story, and then I will be back with you.
Tonight we are getting our first look at a Utica School's bus driver charged with driving a bus filled with kids while she was drunk.
48-year-old Nicole Dillard appeared in court today to be arraigned on multiple charges. Mara McDonald live on that story for us this evening. Good evening, Mara.
Hi, Jace. You know, she pleaded not guilty, but she really didn't want her face on camera. Let me show you. 48-year-old Nicole Dillard spent the entirety of her arraignment trying to shield her face from public view. She's accused of crashing her Utica Community Schools bus while she was drunk.
The defendant, in her behavior, showed a lack of regard for the safety of the people in her charge, as well as the other people on the road with her.
Police say Dillard's blood alcohol was 0.10 when she was driving nearly 50 kids from Henry Ford II High School when she crashed near Shaner and Hall Roads. There was minor damage to the bus and no other vehicles involved, but some of the students on the bus did require medical treatment. The prosecutor argued for a $100,000 bond, but the judge opted for $50,000 with 10% cash, as well as a tether. Back here alive, some of the factors in that judge's decision. Dillard has no priors, and she is also already entered into alcohol treatment. We're live in Sterling Heights tonight. I'm Mara McDonald.
Now, this lady had no business putting these kids at risk because something really bad could have happened, but thankfully it did not. And so one of the great things, though, about school buses is that they are actually really quite safe. Now, there have been instances where there have been like fatal crashes and things, and those are usually where someone was extremely reckless. So here, hopefully, this lady will get the help that she needs. They said she's going to be going to some type of, I guess it's alcohol or drug counseling. And, I'm not quick to just write her off. Yeah, if it was my kid in the bus, I would be definitely concerned, and I would definitely be concerned that, the district actually screens people, but they probably did screen her, and she's probably just having a really difficult time in her life. I did mention that she has some things going on based on the testimony in the courtroom. She's taking care of her elderly mother all by herself, and because I've seen people do that all by themselves, I can understand the amount of stress that she must be going through, and it must be extremely difficult not to be able to have that help, that respite care that she could use for help with her mother. And it did mention that she is married. She may not be getting any help for her husband, and yes, that's no excuse for her behavior and her actions and choices that she make, but we're all human, and fortunately no one was hurt, and I'm hoping that she'll learn a lesson behind this. And so hopefully she gets the help that she needs, and she'll be off to a maybe possibly a new career. But something that I did notice, though, while I was watching the arraignment, and they did actually mention it in the video, was that the prosecuting attorney was trying to give her $100,000 bond. And I did think that was really excessive, and the judge thought that it was too, because during the arraignment, he did mention, he's like, wait a minute, these are misdemeanors. And so it's unfortunate, because I do believe that certain people are actually, charged more, or at least giving more extreme punishments. And so thankfully there was a judge in this case that thought it was excessive, because I could see how that actually, unfortunately, that would actually create more stress. Hooray for that judge and being more mindful. And so, hopefully this will be her wake up call and she'll get the help that she needs.